That's the
Correct.
side.
Yes, that was the case study. And everyone in the
Okay.
audience, as long as they weren't allergic to apples, meaning the arm would go weak because your body would tell you this is not for you. People will test differently. Their right arm, their left arm, they'll hold stronger. Some people really try to resist, and their arm flies up in the air. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of just these people were in a class learning about muscle testing so that they could do it for themselves and for their families. And this was one of the exercises that was given to them. Now, in the past, when I have done energy work on people, I will look for hot and cold spots on the body through, the energy in my hands and connecting with their body. And sometimes colder or hot spots would then tune me into stop, and I would, read them
Hmm.
a little bit closer and say, has there been discomfort, or was there any kind of pain or accident that you encountered recently, in your shoulder, because there's a hot spot there. And they would say, oh my gosh, I had whatever, you know, frozen shoulder last year and it still clicks when I move it, or I'll feel people's backs. Sometimes I remember doing energy work on one woman and I was scanning her spine and I kept going over this one place in her spine and I, kind of pinpointed, and then I just stuck my finger right there and her body just went, whoa. And then she started crying. And I said, let's talk about it. What happened? And she said, when I was a child, I was in a car accident and, the paramedics had to strap me down and blah.
Hmm.
And this whole accident that happened around this one area in her spine. So her body was holding the trauma. And that is the whole point of the energy work that I do, or the astrology work that I do, or any of the work that I do, to help people recognize what's out of alignment. Because if you have a traumatic experience, it doesn't have to be a car accident. It could be someone yelled at you and you're holding that pain.
Hmm.
Or, you ran through a windstorm and you didn't think you were going to make it. And next thing you know, your chest hurts and you think you're getting sick because it was raining or whatever was happening. But you hold in the stress and it becomes emotional. And if it's not focused on and released from the body, it stays there and it waits to be recognized. I heard it once said by an energy worker that we create our emotions and then we treat them like bastards, which I think it was a channeled spirit called Bartholomew. And I thought, wow, that is so true. That is just
Hmm.
so true. So if we take the time to get through something and instead of blowing it off, we say, oh my gosh, that was really scary. And then we breathe and then we write about it. We tell a friend. And so you'll notice that what most people do is they're very prone to watching hype media. So
Hmm.
because they'll talk about the same thing over and over and over and over again. And that's how we process. Some of us process quietly. Inwardly, we need to shut the door. Don't anybody bother me. Sometimes we won't stop talking about it, the same incident over and over and over and over and over. But if it
Hmm.
gets to the point where all you're doing is talking about it and you're not releasing it,
Hmm.
then that's when I step in. Say, you ready? You done?